Let me just close and start from the beginning. I have just opened an image. It was this image, JPG image, and it is naturally unlocked because I've imported. If I want to make any selection, I can very well do the selection, but I cannot do any changes. To do any changes, I have to use the, for example, use the mouse tool and move some or part of this image out. It will give me an error that could not complete your request because the layer is unlocked. So the first thing I need to do to make any changes to an image is unlock the layer. Double click on the layer, unlock. Now it gets unlocked. So now the second thing I will do is, because I want to change the background, I have a couple of options. Let me show you what options do I have. First of all, look at these layers. Layers are real life, they are mapped to real life principle of layer. Like the part of me you see is hiding the wall behind. Okay, that's the layers in the real life also. So I'm the first layer in front of you, and this wall is the second layer behind me. So it's this layer 2 and I'm layer 1 in front of you. That's how things work in real life also. So anything which is at the top over here, you can see, you know, more clearly, and you know it's in front. Anything which is beneath it, below it, is behind this layer. So let me just add one layer, and on this layer let me just give it a name. I can double click its name also, and I say this is top, and this is, double click on the name, it will allow you to enter top, and this is bottom. So I go to top layer, I still see this image because there is nothing on the top layer, it's transparent. That's why you can see this image. Let me fill up the top layer with something. I go to edit, fill, use color, and let's use a color. Click on a color, and you can also write over here some color code. So I click on a color, you see the color code changes. The color code changes. So if I want to tell you as a graphics designer, I am using this color code 72CEB7. Give me a background into it, or create a logo for me for my company using this color. So you can directly go and type this color code. In the exam, I will give you a color code. You should be able to type on here, and you should change the background to this color. So I will give you 727EB7, for example, and there is some other color by default in your color palette. So you'll type over here. I've seen in the exam 727EB7. So 727EB7. Was it this color or some other color? 7C. So you will reach here. So you will get the exact same color I'm asking you to create. So you created this color, okay, and then okay again. So you change the background to that color. That's exactly what happens. So now what happens is, in this case, I made a selection, and on that selection the color is applied. Now let me do this. I don't want this. I'm not making any selection. I come out of it, etc. Click on any tool and you will come out of it. Now I click on the top layer, edit. So I'm repeating that because I don't want the color on any selection. I want the color on whole layer. Edit, fill, use color, okay. So it becomes this because I clicked on this layer and I said fill it. Go to edit and fill. I filled that layer with that green. This is what I did. Again, top, edit, fill, use color, this color, okay, and okay. So it filled that layer with this color. Now why do you see green? All of this green, because green is in front. You see it's in the top, and bottom you have the actual image which is at the back. So you cannot see it now because what is in front of you can only see it. However, if I rub a little bit of it, let's say if I have a eraser over here and I rub it from here, so the layer at the back is coming, and I can increase the size of the rubber. Right click, increase the size of the rubber, and now rub a little more. You will see that layer is coming. That's how layers work. But let me also show you one more thing. What if I need to change the background? I just introduced you a little bit with the layer. What if I need to change the background? So let me undo this. If the history brush works for me, undo. Okay. And then what I want to do is new layer, and I give it top. Now what I want to do is change the background of this image. So if I want to change the background of this image, then really this image should be at the top, not at the bottom. And then the background should be changed. So let me just show this to you. I move this up from here, and this will become in the front. So this will become my top. Let me change the names again. This will be my top layer now, and this will be my bottom layer now. So I'm changing the name for the purpose of your understanding. You don't have to change names when you move again and again. You don't have to change names. So this is top and this is bottom. Now what I want to do is I say the bottom color is filled with some other color, because I will delete this part. This floor part I will delete, and then the previous layer, whatever color it has, will be filled up here automatically. So it will look I have changed the floor color. So I go to bottom, edit, fill, use, click on color, and click on any color you like. Okay, and okay. So that color is changed, but you still can't see it because it's behind this layer. So the whole layer is covering the bottom layer, and if you like, you can select this and you can move it behind. You see, the one behind is now coming, and you can add more layers again and again, and you will see if I add more layer, bring it in the lowest, and I give it some other color, edit, fill, some other color, maybe this bluish. Okay, and I move now this thing out. You'll see this is the top layer, this is the middle layer, this is the bottom layer. That's how layers work. But in terms of changing this thing, changing the floor, now I need to make selection. I've made the layers correctly, now I have to make the selection. So I want to choose which one. This depends upon your experience and usage, which one is the best. So you have to try and practice which tool is the best to make this selection. Let's try with this lasso. So you see this lasso, it follows my mouse only. I want the computer to help me select the floor automatically. It doesn't do it, right? So the lasso is only for my mouse. Polygonal lasso is only for the points I'm making with my mouse. It's not helping me. It's manual selection. So in this case, I need some tool which can automatically select the floor, because I need to change the floor color. So magnetic lasso can help also, I should say, but not to a very fine extent. So you can keep on clicking. It is selecting, but not very fine. Magnetic, what it is doing is it is sticking to the boundary. So it is finding where is the boundary. Along with my mouse's movement, it is sticking to it, but it's not very fine. So I will come out of it. I don't like it, so I'll now select Magic Wand Quick Selection. These are two things I have. Okay, so Magic Wand does this automatic selection. Quick Selection tool also does this automatic selection. But let me just show you, there is a little bit of difference between them. Magic Wand, click here, it will automatically highlight what it thinks is the whole area I'm trying to highlight. So yes, this is quite close, but I need to help this tool more, so I can use shift and select this thing also, select this also, select this area. So it is now basically following what I'm doing, but it mistakenly it selected this lamp also, because the lamp is the same color, you see that, as the floor. So that's not quite what I want, right? So you can, if you're very expert at this tool, you can also try doing with this tool if you try. But let me show you quick selection tool. In this case, quick selection tool, you click at a place, it will move it with your mouse. Shift, Is that better? So now I can delete, and the background is changed, the floor is changed. You see that? Magic, right? So that's basically the layers and the selection tools. Now you guys need to be very comfortable with these two things: the selection tool, the layers. Now these are the only things we are looking at this time. We're not looking at eraser, the paint bucket tool, the gradient tool, although there's hundreds and thousands of more things you can do with this tool. At this point, for your next assessment for Photoshop, you should be very comfortable with the layers. Now I can do a lot of more things with the layer. Do you see this eye over here? This this eye? This eye means it's visible. So Adobe has this eye in many of its products, many of its software. In Flash, in Illustrator, eye means visible. You can see. If you click on the eye, it will close, meaning it is not visible. So you click on all the eyes, everything is transparent. What does it mean? Your image will contain nothing. Even though layer information the Photoshop will have, but Photoshop says I have the layer information, but it's nothing. So you can have anything at the top, but you can have it not visible. You can do it. So you can turn on the visibility of bottom and it will become visible, or the visibility of the lowest, it will become visible. But the lowest is not visible because it's behind the bottom. So let me just click on the eye again, so the lowest is now visible. So that's how you can arrange the what is in the front, what is in the back, at the back, and at the back, and keep going on. And then you can also arrange which one should be visible, which should not be visible. You understand this? I will give you, you have this image, let me just